Aloha, this is your main squirrel, here with a quick disclaimer. This podcast contains explicit content and parental discretion is advised. So no bitching if you fucking get offended by anything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the episode number 2 of the night. This will be our episode 5, actually. 5 episodes in already.
That's... Empire Strikes Back.
Was that Empire Strikes Back?
Cinco de Squirrelo.
Empire Strikes Back. Episode 5 was
Cinco
Empire
de Squirrelo.
Cinco de Squirrelo.
Cinco de Squirrelo.
And we've already jumped the shark on episode 5. It's wonderful.
But I like the cookie. Play? Okay.
Feel my squirrely wrath.
Wrath. Okay, yeah. There's our squirrel references for the evening.
And we just bought a squirrel mug.
Yes,
to add to our
squirrel
collection.
If you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/thesquirreltangent, actually, the very top of the page is all of our squirrel paraphernalia. We have a squirrel menagerie going. We have our little blue glass squirrel, our squirrel mug, and a squirrel pen.
So we have a menage a squirrel.
We have a menage a squirrel.
Menage a squirrel.
I dream of a merch store.
It may happen in the future. If we get enough listeners and enough people interested, it may be something we can do.
A menage a squirrel.
I want, now that I know what secret squirrel is,
right?
Just a secret agent squirrel.
Secret squirrel.
And for the longest time, I wanted like some kind of a squirrel ninja thing going. Like that would be
squirrel.
That would be an awesome. That would be an awesome. Like I can just see that as being some kind of shadowy figure throwing a star across the shirt. You know, that would be awesome.
See, I kind of want like a Godfather squirrel, or like a Jurassic Park squirrel. There's so many things we could do.
We could,
but. We also have to think of copyright infringement.
If anybody's listening wants to do some fan art and design us a ninja squirrel, somehow a Jurassic Park squirrel. I don't know how you might do that one. An Indiana Jones squirrel. I don't know.
Jones. We could do it in the way that you see all those shirts with Marilyn Monroe on it with the thug tattoos. Those aren't copyright, but it's just a. I don't know how.
But you know what though. In movies and whatnot, that's why actors have to cover all of their tattoos.
Yep.
Because I forget what show or what movie it was. The tattoo artist sued the production company because his artwork.
Wow.
That's his artwork. That's his copyrighted artwork on that person's skin. Regardless, it's on somebody else's skin, but that's his artwork. And he won.
Yeah, no.
So
I get it.
Now for if any, because I think there's one. Again, I'm going to talk about Supernatural. The I forget her name in the show, but she was the sheriff. She has a sleeve, so she had to get permission because they were covering it up.
Mm-hmm.
She had to get permission from the tattoo artist, written permission, like disclosure or permit whatever, to add, like they wanted. She was supposed to have more tattoos. I don't know if it was for Supernatural or for a movie she was doing, and he approved it, so they were able to just add to her tattoos.
That's unbelievable.
Yep.
That's kind of nifty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why, all these actors and actresses, they have to cover their tattoos, or else the artist can
Although
especially if it's flash.
Yeah.
Then or if it's something like simplistic.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I have a feeling something like Jason Momoa or
then nothing. Well, for his
Rock.
that's a tribe. Those are tribal tattoos.
Yeah.
So that has to do with their culture.
That was on him from birth. He didn't have to get that. That was just
like he was just born that way. But the other one that he used to, the other small Texas Longhorn he had.
Yeah.
He had it covered with a huge long the skull, the longhorn skull. He said because he's older now, blah blah blah, and to have it in movies, like you don't see it in some of the movies because they covered it, but if he gets permission, and the artist, I actually know the artist's name. His name is Nico Hurtado, and he's amazing tattoo work, amazing realistic tattoos. So he did the cover up, and it's huge on his other side. So he has his Samoan tribal, his family
on his chest and left arm,
and then he has the other one from Nico on the other.
Where do you want the Bratty to go one day?
The what?
The Bratty to go one day.
I don't know.
She's gonna get a tramp stamp of Bratty.
See, but you know what? It's before it was considered a tramp stamp. It was actually a nice area. If you put a nice work of art.
You know where I didn't think we were going to go? We're going to start defending the tramp stamp, but talk me into it.
But, when you've got that typical douchey basic white girl tribal that has absolutely no meaning.
Which, for the record, we love white girls on this podcast. I know that we're putting you on blast a lot recently.
Yeah.
But
I'm half white.
Yeah.
Greg's full white.
And I'm half white.
And Josh is half white.
Yeah.
So we're whiteies. So
yeah.
I'm a honky.
Yes.
We have honky rights. So and my other half is Asian. And Josh is
half white.
Half white.
Yeah.
So you're the half.
Yeah.
Your other half is You're half white, half
No. Half white, half black.
Oh, there you go.
See, I'm just adding in disclaimers.
See, so
we were talking about White Claw last time.
We cover all cultural bases. I'm half Asian.
And don't worry, if we haven't mentioned you, we hate you too. We just haven't gotten to you yet. But you suck. You all. Anyway.
What
Bratty's Irish by injection.
Yes.
And so, it's that typical one that either has a butterfly.
Oh, it's always the butterfly.
Or a heart. Yeah. Or you get the ones that say the live, laugh, love. Or just the typical flash, tacky tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a tramp stamp. Now, I have seen one that was beautiful, and it was a cherub, and had the angels, and had the cherub angel, and had the design, and it was in that area. So you couldn't necessarily call it a tramp stamp because it was art.
It's like the first time I saw it, wow, beautiful, and then every time since, the wings on the back.
Then all of a sudden the angel wings on the back, which at one point I wanted.
Yeah, and if it's done right, it's an absolutely beautiful piece. But it's been done so often, and the thing about it is you've got these angelic wings on your back, and you're like the biggest hoe at spring break. And and the dude spring bake.
And they are baked. They are baked. And the dude banging her from behind is counting feathers at the same time.
Break, motherfucker.
I had somebody make the joke, why don't you just tattoo a paragraph so I have something to read?
Right. And like me, I've got a Nightmare Before Christmas sleeve. And one of the things that annoys me constantly, if you look up Nightmare Before Christmas sleeves, a lot of them have 0. That's
the dog, the
Jack
ghost dog.
Skellington's ghost dog. They get the nose wrong. in the
the minor details.
It's not a minor detail. If you're gonna freaking tattoo something, at least get the main, like
his nose.
His nose is like the only thing of color on his freaking body, and it's a freaking flaming jack-o'-lantern.
As somebody without them, I feel like a lot of people half-ass these tattoos. Like, of all the we plan where we're going out to dinner, and it takes fucking 3.5 days. But people just are like, oh yeah, I got a tattoo, and here it is. It's like
some people get tattoos, just because they like what it is. Some people,
right? And
not everybody has to get a tattoo that has some deep meaning behind it.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people that are like that, and hence the tramp stamp.
And that kind of bugs me though, because you're putting something on your skin that's permanent. It will always be there. You're going to be buried, and 1,000 years from now, somebody's going to dig up your dried husk of a body.
Well, you'd be cremated. I thought you listened to the last episode.
Well,
But do you know what the new trend is, though? Is that they will take your skin off, dry it, and frame it and use it as it's a work of art.
And they do what?
Yes. They take your skin off and dry it flat.
They can preserve
your skin with the tattoos, especially if you have amazing artwork on you.
I want to take his face.
It's not his. Off.
Put it online.
Off.
So
to face off.
You see, actually, I'll take Jason Momoa's chest off. Put it online.
That's not the tattoos in Aquaman. Those are all.
I want that too. Just as a part of it.
That's not his only tattoo.
What is the actual? See, I knew that you would be.
That is on his forearm, and that is his family's Amakua, which is their animal, their spirit animal, which is, and the design is a shark. That's the shark teeth. That's the design that's on his forearm. The other ones he has on his right arm is he just recently got the logo for his company or his YouTube channel and all his production company called On the Roam. So he has that logo. And then him, his wife, and his stepdaughter got a frivolous one. And it basically says always stay drunk or always be drunk in French on the outside of their forearm. And then he has another small one that I can't remember what it is. But so one has meaning, and the other his production company.
And even the frivolous one still has some kind of a meaning. It's like an inside joke.
Yeah, it's an inside joke with his wife and his stepdaughter.
And it's something that means something to him. Like I have one that's a tribal iguana on my chest, and
you killed her.
And, well, I didn't know how to properly care for an iguana when I was in my early 20s, and she unfortunately passed away from a vitamin deficiency.
What was she lacking?
Vitamin E. Vitamin E. Or whichever
D.
one you get from the sun.
D.
Gotta give her the D.
You had to give her the D. You had to go up to her.
No scaly D.
To her fish tank and smash it up against the. There you go. Some vitamin D.
I don't know why you're so worried about the future anyway, because you vaped today. So doesn't that mean you're going to be dead within 24 hours?
Right.
That's not what I was saying in the news.
Right.
24 to 48 hours.
Is this our segue?
You should be dead. Don't call out the segue.
We didn't get to talk about my tattoo, selfish, non-tattooed ass.
Well, you can talk about your tattoo. We can segue back. Should I reel back the segue?
Reel back the segue.
Reel back.
Speaking of segues, don't you have a segue tattooed on your back somewhere?
No, that's a security
it's an arrow.
It's an arrow.
and on the tattoo thing though, I do like ironic tattoos or tattoos that could be made into a joke. Because my lizard on my chest,
You have a goat. You have sign of the smile. You are inducted into the Smiling Devil Tattoo crew.
Yes.
With that tap goat.
If you guys are in Hawaii or ever visit Hawaii and want an outstanding artist, please check out our buddies at Smiling Devil Tattoo and Piercing. Great.
And and how many times they would threaten me, we're just gonna put the goat on you and you're not gonna know. Like,
it was either that or the red rocket.
I don't want the red rocket.
Oh God! But when you get a tattoo that you can make a joke out of, like with mine, I'd ask somebody if they wanted to stroke my lizard.
No, that's how he first met my sister. We went to my niece's first birthday party, and they had a bouncy castle, and they were in the bouncy castle, and he went in there with her, and we were talking about tattoos, and then he goes, and I was like, oh yeah, he has a iguana tattooed on his chest, and he goes, you want to pet my lizard? And he starts going, she goes, oh my god, no, because she took it the entirely wrong way, and I'm like, no, it's the iguana, it's on his chest. She's like, oh my god, she couldn't stop laughing. It's like, no, you want to see my lizard? It sounds like a really bad
or like lie. We have another friend of ours that he got tattooed on under his elbows. And oh god, what did it stand for? He has one P here and another P here. At the time he was married. You have to describe where here is. Well, on the back, right above your elbow, on the back of your bicep. So he has it like right there right above his elbows in the back. So at the time, he was married to a Samoan girl. And in Samoan, a white person is called Palangi. So he made the joke that he was the platinum Palangi. And it was a dare or whatever, and he put the two P's in those areas, and it stood for platinum Palangi. But he would tell everybody he would go up to people and put his arms up and stick his elbows out at you and tell you to put your hands on his elbows, and then tell you it took you 2 hands to touch my pee-pee.
You know.
And how many guys can say it takes 2 hands to hold your pee-pee?
Men are not always great. It's
and he has all kinds of tattoos, and some have meaning, most of them have meaning, and I know what they are. But for mine, I researched my tattoos. The first one I got, I researched it for years because that trend came in where everybody had Japanese kanji or Chinese or whatever, and then they find out later that it means eat a dick or I'm soup, or
just the idea that you would get a tattoo in a language you don't fucking speak anyways.
So, exactly, and these are like people that are not even Asian.
Yeah,
and that kind of nerves me a little bit. So I'm like, you probably saw that as flash on the wall, thinking this means life is beautiful, and it means you're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
right.
And that has happened. So the one on the back of my neck, I researched for years to make sure. I went to every Chinese astrology website to make sure that was the symbol. I mean, I went to maybe 100 different sites to compare each one to make sure that was the symbol.
Are we sure this doesn't say cunt? I need to know.
And it doesn't mean like she likes it doggy style. Because my Chinese zodiac is Year of the Dog. So, I made damn sure I wasn't putting on the back of my neck.
That's not saying she doesn't like it doggy style, though.
It's just unrelated. She didn't feel the need to advertise that from day one in Chinese.
So You are an asshole. But and that was in reference to Greg.
We're committed to journalism.
So I put that. I finally, put that on the back of my neck. My first tattoo, and as soon as that needle touched my neck, I thought I was gonna jump out of the fucking chair.
Speaking in tongues.
I mean, because all my friends had tattoos. I was the only one that had nothing. And I always went with them to go and get tattoos. And I'm such a chicken. I'm like, I'll get one day. And I had a reason behind of waiting for so long because my mom did not want me to get a tattoo. So I waited until she passed away.
And now she's got a whole armful of
And now I have, the open sleeve, the reason why I call it an open sleeve is because it's not, my skin, it's not completely saturated with full tattoo.
Sparsely decorated.
It's like, it's my whole arm, but it looks like individual tattoos. So technically speaking, when people ask me how many tattoos I have, if I count these all individually, I have 26. But
it started from one.
And it started from the two stars in the back. It started with 3.
That's right.
And so I have stars. I have little stars on me as well that I need to finish, which represent the 18 points of pain due to fibromyalgia. And people ask me, why the hell are you putting stars on the 18 points of pain? I'm like, because that's
it means something.
That's what I have to live with every day. And it's not a reminder to you, it's not a reminder to me, but it means something to me. That is something that is significant in my life. It's what made me disabled.
Yeah.
So, there's people who cut off their toe and they get Frankenstein stitches on their foot as a joke.
Yeah.
But it's not a joke to me. It's for me. It's not for anybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's on my arm is I have 2 koi fish, one representing my mother, one representing myself. And when one goes up, one should be going down. It's balance because going up means struggle and going down means flow.
That's actually some tattoo knowledge for you there.
That's Asian knowledge.
You should never get, if you get the koi fish tattoo, never get just one. Get both. It has
balance.
significance.
It's supposed to be balanced. So.
You didn't need a second lizard?
No.
But I'm kind of worried that we're going to have to defend you at the trial. I'll do it, but it's going to look really bad on the witness stand. He offered to show me his lizard. Well, shit. It's I don't think he meant that, but fuck, I didn't. I don't know what to tell you.
So to continue, the 2 koi, my mom, being the white woman she was, she had blue eyes. I, unfortunately, did not get blue eyes. I got light brown, hazel. I was lucky in that respect because my brother's eyes are darker. But
so nobody got the blue eyes.
Nobody got the blue eyes.
No
shit.
Brown eyes took over.
No, but when I photograph, my eyes always come out gray. It's weird. When I take photographs, they either come out like this hazel, strange color, or they'll look gray. It's really weird when I take photographs, the color of my eyes. But, so I have the 2 koi, and plus my mother was a Pisces, so hence the fish. And technically my mother was born on a leap year.
Leap day?
Yeah. Well, leap year, leap day. Anyway, but, back in the day, as to not have to deal with all the trouble and hassle when you have to file for things and whatnot, they put her birthday as the 28th. But every time that there was a leap year, we would celebrate her birthday for 2 days.
Yeah.
So she was 65 when she passed away, but technically speaking, she was only 16.
That's unbelievable.
So I have 16 cherry blossoms tattooed down my arm, and it's positioned in a way where it looks like they're falling.
Mm.
So that's why they're positioned to where they're falling. And I have a quote on the inside of my forearm, which is the last thing my mom and I had said to each other before she passed away. And that was probably the hardest part of my tattoo.
Mm.
That was the last thing we tattooed was the quote on the inside of my forearm, because that was closure. That was final.
And that's kind of a tender spot too.
It wasn't pain. It wasn't the pain that, because right. Jay goes, "Are your eyes sweating?" And I was like, "It's not because it's sore." I said, "It's because," he goes, oh, okay, I get it. So it was the significance of what it was, of the last thing we said to each other. And when it was done, when we got to the last part of the tattoo, it had nothing to do with the pain. It had everything to do with what it meant.
Yeah.
And the stars, and you would think that the bigger areas would be sore, but I have stars that are on the inside of my knees. 2 tiny stars on the inside of my knees. Those were the most painful little fucking suckers out of all of them.
Because nobody can actually see them. These things are like maybe a ½ inch across.
They're like maybe the size of a dime.
Maybe.
If not, maybe a dime would cover it. And the funny thing about it is we did the first one, and I went, it was super quick, and I went, ah! And then we did the other side, and then Jay starts laughing because I made the exact same noise at the same exact, it was replicated. Ah! So that's the biggest, I was like, oh my God.
Although I still think the best sound reaction I've heard at that tattoo parlor, or any tattoo parlor,
was that guy that got the red rocket on his...
No, that was the best facial expression. The nipple piercing.
The guy who did the nipple piercing.
Oh, God.
Well, he yelled out, "Yeah, Daddy likes it." And mind you, they were military guys, and they were like all there as a joke. They were daring him to do it.
God.
They're like, "Come on, man, do it. And when you do it, and when you get the needle through your nipple, you have to yell out, 'Yeah, Daddy likes it.'" And they were videoing him.
Did you ever do any piercings?
At one point, I had my tongue done. I've got my ear done. At one point, I had that up to a 6 gauge.
It was big.
It was pretty big. I never got to the whole plug thing, but it was still pretty big.
Even the one in his tongue was...
I had up to a 6, yeah.
When is the tongue ring supposed to actually contribute to
It's anything? Fucking fabulous for a girl.
Well, there's that, but...
But you know what? It fucks up your teeth.
It does. It does.
Like, I have another friend, my other friend, he had a tongue ring for a while, but then it was chipping his teeth. So he was in a job where he was traveling around a lot, and when you go to other countries, dental care is way cheaper than it is in the United States. So he was able to fix all his, all the chips in his teeth. So he took out the freaking tongue ring.
Yeah.
So that's the, it chips all your fucking teeth, especially and then you've got the people who have like the Medusa, which is the single piercing that is right in the middle of your Cupid's bow on the top of your lip.
Yeah.
So you've got that backing like right up against your teeth, so it's like banging that. Then you've got the Labre, which is the one in the middle.
On the bottom of it.
right in between your chin and the bottom lip, and that starts banging your the bottom teeth.
And then there's snake bites, and then
snake bites, angel bites, Madonna, Marilyn, the angel bites, the dimples.
Yeah.
I considered the dimples one at one point, but I was like, I already have fucking dimples.
You'd be too cute. You gotta give somebody a chance.
I
already had
that eye roll was actually audible. Just so you know, everybody heard that.
But I already have dimples, but some girls get those piercings to create dimples later on when they take out.
Yeah.
Because you get the scarring. So now the only one I didn't get the eyebrow piercing until I had to medically retire because I was working government. I'm not saying for what organization, although I probably did in the first or second episode.
Yes, you did.
For TSA, they don't allow you. They wouldn't even allow a retainer, which was completely clear and small, and you couldn't see. So you knew who had piercings because they had freaking Band-Aids all over their face.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to look like fucking Nelly with a freaking Band-Aid on my eyebrow. And I was like, and they were not lenient on tattoos at all.
No,
and now, mind you, in Hawaii, you've got people that's their culture.
Their heritage.
Yeah.
That's their culture, and they have their family. Well, it's not a crest, but
symbol.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know what? Tattooed and employed. Tattoos have absolutely nothing to do with your work performance, and I don't.
And now I've heard that they're finally,
allowing
tattoos are not as They
taboo.
should not be considered as taboo because unless it's a girl spreading her legs, and you've got a girl with her titties hanging out on your damn forearm.
Right. I mean, I can see if it's something that's not necessarily PG.
Or like a middle finger or swear words or whatnot. But if it's artwork,
then there shouldn't be an issue.
One of those things where we're catering to the least enjoyable denominator.
Right. People are like, they're just punks with their tattoos.
Yeah,
some of the most intelligent people I know are covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
But okay, so I do want to touch on the whole vaping thing, and the segue was rejected earlier, so I'll bring it up.
You've got to tell your story.
Exactly. Got to get all the stories out, but. It's recently been in the news that vaping has been the cause of death for 6 people. And yes, this was in a relatively short period of time. And then, there's talks about banning flavored e-juices. And folks, the people that did die, tragic as it is, they did so because they were purchasing and using e-juices that were either made by themselves or purchased from people that made it themselves, who didn't know what they were doing and made things that were dangerous.
And they were usually, and if you look at the ages of the ones that passed away, they're the ones that are in that huge cloud vaping culture. The bigger the cloud, the better.
Yeah.
So they made vaping oils that were purposely a higher burning.
So they can make these ginormous clouds. And the thing is, there are millions of vapors. Millions of us. And it does serve a purpose. It helps people get off of regular tobacco. I myself am slowly, weaning myself off of the nicotine and dropping the nicotine content in the juice so that I can...
Squeezing the juice.
Squeezing the juice. Great Pauly Shore reference. So I can eventually just be done with it. You know, I would like to get to that point. And without the e-juice, without vaping, I don't think it would happen.
Why the fuck do we seem to get all bent out of shape when 6 people die, but when something actually kills a high volume of people,
like smoking,
and
drinking, and
hundreds of people die a day from nicotine from smoking, and so
because the tobacco companies, when they first came out, they said it was doctor approved.
Yeah.
And smoking was good for you, and you were in high society, and there were commercials for it and billboards for it. And
they actually advertise for children.
Yep.
They actually advertise for kids.
They created animated animals or animated things to cater.
Attracting younger audience.
And a child sees this animated thing and they're like, "Oh, I want to try that." And it's fucking cigarettes.
You almost never see vape commercials, although you do see them once in a while, like for Juul or something like that. But they are very obviously not catered towards children.
It's not like there's a Tony the Tiger for vaping.
Right. And like the e-juice I'm using right now, it's fruit punch, because I like the fucking sweeter flavors. The sweeter flavors are not geared towards kids, they're geared towards what people fucking want to taste.
Yeah.
And they are bought by a reputable company online. You can either get them online or at the vape juice store.
Yeah.
So it's been regulated, and in Vegas they've made it a law to put huge warning labels on anything.
It's not even Vegas. I bought this one online.
And they have huge warning labels. So it's not like, "Hey kids, take a big old inhale."
Big ass warning on here. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive substance.
Yeah.
Warning, this product contains can expose you to chemicals including nicotine, which is known to the state of California to cause cancer. And for more information, go to any given web page. All over this bottle, there's all kinds of warnings on here saying bad, addictive, not for child consumption. And this one happens to be hot mocha.
And as we've learned recently too, our biggest threat to our health really is our diets. Our standard diets
all three of us.
It's our standard diets are terrible.
Oh yeah.
The worst thing I could do right now is go freebase fucking King's Hawaiian rolls as much as I want to.
Like what I did the other day.
Yeah, you were telling me that story, and I was in.
Because one of my ailments is I am a type 2 diabetic, which runs extremely strong. I mean, there was no way I could run away from it, even when I was able to be more active and was dieting and going to the gym and training and all of that. My blood sugar was still at borderline. So it was inevitable for me to I tried to avoid it. I tried my hardest.
Yeah.
And my pancreas just said, "Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party."
Mine recently did too.
Because my great grandma had, my grandma, and they were they were old school. They had the insulin, the poking. My mom, pills only. I am pills only because I refuse to be a slave to that needle.
Yeah.
My opinion is people who, and this is just my opinion.
We're not doctors. We're not medically qualified for anything.
I'm not against people who have to take
Patreon, follow our WebMD.
Yeah, for people who have to take insulin, may you be blessed and have a good life. But I am afraid of, with my tattoos, I'm still afraid of needles. And I have to do one shot already. Yeah. And that, the day that I had to resort to taking that one shot, I sat there and I cried for about a good half an hour because I felt like a failure to myself because I've been fighting so hard to not have to do it, but my pancreas just just went haywire, and so I take my one little shot. It's for my A1C, and that's enough because let me tell you that needle may be tiny, but you start I can feel a layer of scar tissue developing on my stomach, and my legs don't, and my thighs don't necessarily. I don't have fatty thighs. Don't call me Kermit the Frog legs, fucking Big Bird legs. yeah, Big Bird. Don't start. So I have to seriously, and you can't see what I'm doing, but I have to seriously smash my thigh together to make a small mound so I can get that piece of fat to get in there. So
the hand motions here are great.
Yeah, I know, but so I can literally feel this layer of scar tissue on the area on my stomach where you're supposed to poke. Now, there's another area you can poke, which is the back of your arm where it's super sensitive. And I'm I don't know if I can do that to myself. I'll be ah! So I have never tried because I'm afraid to.
And take it from somebody that's gotten tattoos there, not fun.
No.
Not fun at all.
Yeah, there were areas that got close to the bat wing. That I was oh, sweet baby Jesus. But
oh god. So we're gonna bring this to a little bit lighter subject. Crazy Floridians.
Florida again.
Yes, we can always find something ridiculous in Florida. This one, and I'm going to read the title of this article out loud. Florida teen tried to hire a hitman to kill parents, police said.
Jesus. I thought we were going late.
I'm just bemused by Florida.
Just a lot of stuff going on.
And this was September 11th. This is recent.
Yeah, Jesus.
And your dad lives in Florida. And he's the most mild-mannered man.
Right.
And he's in Cuckoo-Bird, Florida.
How do you find a hitman? Do they have a society too?
Dude, dark web.
Dark web? God.
Well, yeah, there's 17-year-old.
Because I watch on Vice, Vice Network.
Yeah.
They talk about the dark web all the time. And it's they have shows that talk about the dark web. And that is some scary shit.
I forgot to mention, you can follow us on the dark web.
No.
To our Patreon, donate to our dark web.
People would be able to hack into all of our electronics if we ever went into the dark. The dark web is a scary place.
Yeah. So
I've watched videos on YouTube of those paranormal people.
Yeah.
Ordering there's this thing called a dive up box.
Yeah.
And those are curses. People are creating a curse box. And these idiots are buying them from the fucking dark web.
Jesus.
And opening them and letting out whatever bad energy the person created it. Yeah. I mean, if you believe in that kind of stuff, you do, you don't, whatever. But opened it, and there was all this strange shit in there, fucking hair and teeth and whatnot. And not long after that, the guy had to leave his house because fucking doors were opening and closing, and the fucking walls were shaking, and all kinds of strange shit. So he let out what was meant for someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
But then it gets mailed to you randomly.
And believe or not believe, some things are just not to be fucked with.
Yeah, some things you don't. Like, I used to watch them, and then afterwards, I started getting creeped out. And I blocked all that shit on YouTube.
Yeah. And so, Alyssa Hatcher of Umatilla, Florida.
Or Umatilla, or Umatilla.
Umatilla?
Tomatilla?
Somebody let me know if I'm saying any of this right.
Flotilla? Tortilla?
Was arrested by deputies after she allegedly stole her parents' debit card, used it to make 2 separate transactions to withdraw $1,500, where she used that to pay
$1,500?
2 different people. One she offered $400, and they didn't act to kill her parents. Another she offered $900, and then she used $100 of it to buy cocaine.
Wow. Did the other person do it, or agree to do it? Or
Hatcher's boyfriend. He told him he'd seen Hatcher at a known drug house. Yeah, no, the parents are still alive. The victims, the parents of the juvenile defendant advised their.
Is that moving at warp speed? Are we going to sound like mice?
No, we're not going to sound like mice. I can make
this
it
is a
like
squirrel podcast.
I could totally make it sound like mice. So,
no.
We can increase the playback.
No. Maybe for Christmas we'll do something.
Okay. I can sing the chipmunk song without any.
I can't do it. Oh Lord.
Oh God! Hey, Brandy, you need to slap yourself because you just did a Christmas song, and it's not even Halloween yet, and you're like skipping Halloween.
Who sent you the picture of the freaking Christmas tree already up in Walmart?
Oh, that was my dad posted that.
And again, Florida.
Christmas trees, decorations, lights, and all that shit.
At the Walmart
Not the Walmart.
A Walmart.
In a Walmart in Florida. I'm like, what? But
we didn't even get through Thanksgiving. Not even like.
No Halloween, no Thanksgiving, none of that exists. You're just gonna skip straight to Christmas.
And yet there's an argument that they're trying to get rid of Christmas. It's like, no, we should make it one day.
And then the other one of they want to change Halloween to the last Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
It's like, hello. No. Boo. Do they not know its pagan origins?
Right. And we don't even strictly follow that. That's supposed to be having to do with the moon. The cycle of the moon is like the last full moon of the month, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, anything Christmas before.
And then right after
November.
Christmas, you start seeing freaking Valentine's Day shit.
Yeah.
Right. They skip New Year's.
Yeah, just fuck New Year's.
You get like 1 week.
1 week of champagne and everything on sale and party stuff, and that's it.
We enable Josh Groban to make his fucking terrible music. We enable all these people we give them a whole month for this fucking shit.
Right.
And we just pepper it on the radio everywhere.
Yeah.
So, what was the other thing we wanted to talk about? Exes. I am fortunate enough to be friends with. I've had 4 serious. Well, you're not an ex, but 3 serious relationships and 4 counting Greg.
Just go regular.
But I'm fortunate to be friends with. Well, actually, the second one, no. I tried, and he literally told me he could not be my friend if we couldn't, hook up. Still.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But the first
then there was
one,
Skid Mark.
he wasn't really a boyfriend.
Well, yeah, he never.
Well,
let
he
me claim
kind of,
it, but
yeah, but it kind of was. But we refused to call him a douchebag, and I refused to call douchey men, those kind of guys, douchebags, because douches actually get in the pussy to make the pussy all smell pretty and fresh and clean for men.
Do you have an alternate?
I have an alternate. It's called shit stain.
or Skid Mark.
Or skid mark on your BVDs.
Yep.
Because that's what they are.
They're also up. Those are up close and personal with the ass, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the dirty part. You know?
No, that's a man's wet fart. He is a wet fart. That's what he is. He's a shark. He's a shark.
There we go. There we go.
He's the shark on the BVDs of life.
Oh God, I would say, you know.
And exes, have you ever gone back with an ex?
No.
Have you ever gone back with an ex?
Yeah, it was a mistake.
And why was it a mistake?
Because we were supposed to be together in the first place.
But why did you go back with her the second time?
I don't know.
There's a reason. There has to be a reason. It's not an I don't know. You cannot give me an I don't know.
And you know, it was so long ago. Honestly, I can't remember my reason because it was kind of bullshit.
Was it because she swallowed or?
No. She was there.
There's an unfinished business there.
She was there.
Why did you break up in the first place?
Her lack of faithfulness.
It can be comforting to go back to what you know.
So you would go back with an ex?
No,
but I
can see. I can empathize.
Yeah, and it was kind of that. It was a comforting thing to go back to something that I knew, but and at the meantime, I overlooked the pain that she caused. And then it just redoubled because I walked in on her in the middle of boning some dude.
I wouldn't technically say gone back with an ex, but it became we were always hanging out, so it looked like we were back together. Mm-hmm. And we were
That's
it was
that's the sound.
Yeah.
That's the sound you come up with? That one too? Yeah, no chipmunks for that?
No chipmunks for that. We broke up, and he broke up with me to go back to another ex of his.
There we go.
Because, you know, his it was pressure from his mother.
Yeah.
I wasn't the right ethnicity.
Well, you were the right ethnicity, just
not enough. I was the right region, but I wasn't the right type, and I wasn't enough. But we continued after he was with that ex for a while. I run into him, and it starts all up again. And when that completely ended, that's when I saw him out with another girl. And I'm like, I can't fucking do this. Right. I said,
you know it's bad when the squirrel's words escape her.
That's when I realized exes are exes for a reason.
There's 7 billion people on the planet. And
exes are exes for a reason. And if you break up with somebody, and if it's trust issues, or infidelity issues, if you go back with that person, that trust issue will always be in that other person's head.
Yeah. It's a classic people get away with.
Will always be in that other person's head.
If somebody treats you a certain way and you don't put your foot down.
Right.
So I was always paranoid. I always had that paranoia in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Until it was actually one of our mutual friends, and it's a guy that I actually grew up. We knew each other from when we were little kids because our parents were friends.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted me to find out. And he told me to come where they were. So I would see. And so I was like, and I'm not the type of person to make a scene in public. I hate those kind of people that make huge scenes in public. I will ask him. I will not argue in public.
Right.
I'm not that kind of person. I will not even argue in the car. I'm that Eddie Murphy. You know
Just wait till we get home.
Wait till we get home. That's how I am. Wait till we get home, because I'm not going to show my ass to public. That is embarrassing. And now with today's social media age, people are going to fucking
be dragging them across.
You. Their shit goes viral.
Yep.
Look at these people arguing.
And without knowing the backstory, people are going to put the blame on the wrong person. They're going to
exactly.
And it just turns out to be a bad thing.
It's exes. I mean, and now granted, there's some that work out.
Yeah.
They're able to work out their differences, and
it happens.
And then but in the back of their head, it's still there.
And when somebody mistreats you,
and if you see just one little thing, it'll trigger it.
And you're going to push them. You will push them into doing something, whether you even want to or not at that point.
Right.
Because it's self-fulfilling prophecy.
And if you have to do certain things private, I mean, everyone is allowed their privacy.
Yeah.
Everyone is allowed their privacy.
But if you feel like you have to hide things.
But if you feel like you have to hide. To be the person, to be the right person, for that you were supposed to be. Then you're not living your truth.
Right.
Love is about Love is about having the freedom to embrace somebody as you are.
I mean, even if they're nerdy, they're trendy, they're ratchet as fuck, or they look like your everyday Joe Schmo outside, but when they come home, they let their freak flag fly. If your partner, if you have to hide that,
right,
you're not living your truth.
And I guess the moral is always live your truth. Screw
with Greg and I. Are you willing to say it out loud? We have an open relationship. That's just how our relationship works. That's how we make our relationship work. And it is.
And we don't lie about it. We don't hide it.
We don't lie it. Well, we don't lie about it. We don't hide it. It's, it.
I mean, granted, I'm not going to sit there and bounce up and down and bone some chick in front of her, but
we still have that mutual respect.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I know what his freak flag is. He knows what mine is. I come home and tell him it, and
and we joke about it.
And people ask us, how can you guys? It's like, our relationship is not for you to understand, for you or anybody else to understand.
Well, exactly. And the thing is, it's interesting to me that if half of the marriages end in divorce, then why are we still just doing the same thing that we keep doing and
Exactly.
expecting a different result? It's
that is the definition of insanity.
It's ridiculous.
Doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
If the traditional way is not working, do something else.
Do something different. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually hit an hour. We can totally continue this on another episode. We can always touch this subject again.
We'd have love line. We could do a whole thing.
Yeah, if you have something you'd like us to discuss,
yeah.
If you need relationship advice, we are not professionals, but we're happy to give it.
Leave us a DM. We have our Facebook page, The Squirrel Tangent.
Any exes, leave a comment. And
tell us
why we should take you back.
Well, damn, but not.
Probably won't, but it's worth a try.
I've resolved any issue I've had with all of my exes, so I have nothing. Yeah. Because that's how. As I got older, that's just
bitterness is boring. It's a burden.
Oh no! You know what ex I forgot that I wouldn't take back? The red-headed dickhead. The one that hit me.
Yeah, well,
the red-headed dickhead.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
that's a whole other subject for a whole other hour. Actually, the easiest way to find us, you can just Google The Squirrel Tangent.
Yeah.
Our Spotify, our YouTube, our iTunes, our Facebook,
if you have any
Google
subjects,
Play will show up on there.
If you have any subjects that you would like us to touch on,
you can
or
email
ask us any questions. We have a Facebook page, The Squirrel Tangent. You don't have to post it on the page. You can DM us, and if there's a specific person you want to ask, there's Josh, Greg, and myself, Brandy or Braddy or whatever you want to call me. That's the two.
And there, our email is also thesquirreltangent@gmail.com. It's easy to find. We're the Squirrel Tangent on everything.
If you want us to tell off one of your exes,
I will gladly do that.
Oh yeah, let us know the story. If we like your email, we'll read it on the
If you want us to do it, if you want it, we don't even have to say your name. If you want us to do it as an anonymous subject.
Yeah.
Oh, happy to do it.
Yeah.
We'll gladly do it.
Happy to do it. All you have to do at that point is make sure that they find a way to hear it.
Yeah. Set them up for it.
Oh yeah, set them up for it. Have one of a friend of a friend be listening to the Squirrel Tangent on their device. We're here for you. So with that, aloha, ladies and gentlemen.
Aloha.